It's mailbag time here at NFL Daily, and what I want you guys to do, as always, is join me when I go live every single Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. This first one's coming in from Harrison Graham's actual account. Devante Adams to Chicago in 2022. Maybe if that's where Adams wants to sign. However, if I'm a wide receiver and I consider myself to be a good receiver, why would I go to Chicago when they got this guy named Allen Robinson who they haven't paid yet? So I'm going to take a playbook out of a division rival and say, well, if you're not going to pay Allen Robinson, I think Devante Adams is better. But at the same time, I could go to a lot of other sports franchises where that would actually think would pay me maybe a little bit more. This next one's coming in here from Rashard Lee. Which team's defense has improved? I don't know if you mean has improved or needs to improve. I mean, I'll say the two defenses that jump off my head, obviously we cover them a lot here. The Dallas Cowboys defense has looked a lot better. The Las Vegas Raiders defense has looked a lot better. I mean, you're talking about two historically bad defenses the year before, and both of those, Dan Quinn, Gus Bradley, have done a phenomenal job with those units. Let's go to Anthony. What up, my man? Hey, Mitch, in terms of fit, with Juju and Allen Robinson on their last year of their contracts, who do you think would be an affordable and good fit for my Patriots for the offense we have so far? Well, I would still say you got to figure out how to get rid of N'Keal Harry. They haven't really been able to do a very good job in terms of investing in wide receivers, especially in the draft. I mean, to be honest, I actually think the idea of going out and getting a player very similar to Allen Robinson would fit very well in New England, where he's going to be a solid blocker. He's going to do the right fundamental things. Now, sure, he might not put up some of these big-time numbers, but I actually think Allen Robinson would be a very good fit on the offensive side of the football. Nathan Wagner, I think your caps are on. Pittsburgh should trade for Rodgers next year and sign Devante Adams in free agency because Juju is injury-prone and not coming back. That offense would be elite, then draft offensive line in the draft. Oh, okay. I mean, Rodgers, I've seen some connections to Pittsburgh. I don't think Mason Rudolph's the answer. I don't think Dwayne Haskins is the answer. I know, call me crazy. And Ben should probably try to hang them up. And if Pittsburgh was smart, you would see them get aggressive because that is a Super Bowl caliber defense. I love Najee Harris. The offensive line, though, is a major, major concern. The other issue is this. Are you realistically going to be able to go out and get Rodgers? Are you going to be able to get also Devante Adams? I don't really see Adams going to Pittsburgh, and I don't see Rodgers going there either. I could see Aaron wanting to go back to the West Coast. Maybe we're going to be closer somewhere where we can also do Jeopardy, but I don't think it's Pittsburgh. Let's go to the next one coming in here. It's from Ike Mike. Should the Browns trade for Derek Carr since Gruden isn't there anymore? I understand the connection with, okay, Jon Gruden's gone. Sometimes when new NFL head coaches come in, they bring in their own quarterback, so is Derek Carr going to be gone? The only thing I guess I don't understand is why the Browns trading for him? Are you going off the assessment that the Browns can't win with Baker? Maybe that's part of it. Are you trying to trigger producer Sam? Maybe that's part of it too. The issue is this, though. Is Derek Carr a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield? In fact, I want you to get your votes in right now. Type DC for Derek Carr or BM for Baker Mayfield. Who's the better quarterback? I'm going to go ahead and say Carr personally, but I also want to give Baker at least a little bit of credit for being a solid game manager. Though, I would say if the Browns had a top 10 quarterback, they'd probably be one of the best teams in the league. He is holding them back. However, OBJ has been bad. Jarvis Landry's injured. Basically, your top wide receiver has been Kareem Hunt, Rashad Higgins, and David Njoku. Yeah, not great. Let's go to Osmar Castro. Should the Seahawks get Cam Newton? Cam Newton is obviously still out there on the free agent market. I don't necessarily know if he's better than Geno Smith because I want to give some credit to Geno. Geno Smith in that game filling in for Russell Wilson. Wilson's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. Geno came in on that first drive, and I was like, this is the greatest I have ever seen Geno Smith play. And then a few series later, you're like, all right, well, there's the Geno Smith that I grew up knowing. I just don't really think Cam Newton would be a better fit. Now, sure, maybe you could go out and also add him for depth, but call me crazy. I might actually rather have Geno Smith on Seattle, who still also knows that system. Let's go to Evan Hinders, and as a reminder, we got a lot of questions coming in. We got over 360 people watching. If you want to guarantee your spot on the show, go ahead and super chat. Also, every $23 super chat, because it's Sam's birthday when we're filming, we're doing shots of Fireball. Let's go to Evan Hinders. No one ever talk about him. I think Sewell should be in Rookie of the Year conversation. Are you talking about Penei Sewell? Okay, Penei Sewell. See, I don't really think that he does deserve to be in the conversation. He's on a team that hasn't won any games, and you can say what you want, but that's going to be a factor. He got absolutely roasted this past week against Everson Griffin. It's going to go to a quarterback, or, I think Jamar Chase deserves also to be in that discussion. He has been very, very good, but, I can't honestly sit here and say that. If you want to pick an offensive lineman, give it to Rashawn Slater. He's been better than Penei Sewell. Let's go to Robert Bruce. Hello, Mitch. Hello, Marshall. Hello, Sam. Hello, Trace. Great job. What percentage would you give the Patriots in making the playoffs? And do they need to beat Buffalo to show they're contenders? Do they need to beat Buffalo? Yes. If they beat Buffalo, they are absolutely contender, because I know Arizona's undefeated, but Buffalo might be the best team in the league right now. At least they're playing that way. And in terms of what percentage, I would honestly probably say a 6 or 7%. It's not very high. They're 2-3 right now. They got a young rookie quarterback. They got some issues on the offense. I'm going to go ahead and say 6, 7%. What up, Mike? Appreciate you, man. Also appreciate the super. Will the Dolphins trade for Watson? And do you think the Dolphins can rebound? Do I think that the Dolphins will trade for Watson? I actually don't 100% know. I do think that they are the team probably that could make the trade the easiest because of all the draft capital that they have. And, if they drafted Watson, would they be better? Yes. Would they rebound? That's still kind of TBA. Now, if you want to go ahead and bet on every NFL Week 6 game, there's one place to do it and one place only. That's at chatsports.com/bet. If you don't go to the link that y'all see below me, then you're not going to be able to get the 125% deposit bonus. For those of you that don't know what that means, if you put down $100, you're going to get $125 for free to bet with. If you put down $200, watch this math, $250 for free to bet with. If you want to be a big baller, put down $500. You can get up to $625 for free to bet with. How do you do it? Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL Daily. That's how you get the setup. Now, if you're wondering, all right, what about some of my bets last week? What about some of my bets this upcoming week? I went 4-1 in terms of the bets that I actually put money on, so I think overall that's pretty good. My week 6 bets, and I hate myself for doing this because I hate betting unders, and I really do. I do not like betting unders, but this week I'm betting 3 unders. If this doesn't work out, I'll never do it again. I'm going to take the Chiefs -6.5 at Washington. Give me the Bills -5.5 at Tennessee. And then Miami-Jacksonville, that game's in London, 45.5 under. Seattle, which is basically Geno Smith and Ben Roethlisberger. Juju's also hurt. Give me the under. And then the Raiders, brand new head coach against Denver in Denver, 44.5. Give me the under. I hate myself. Now, if you want to disagree with me, you want to make your own bets, one more time, chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily. All right, we got John Rendon. Yo, imagine Carr to OBJ. Wow face. I get what you're saying. However, OBJ, I really honestly believe, is the most overrated wide receiver in all of football. He had one great catch. I shouldn't say only one. He hasn't really done anything since being with the Giants. Sure, I believe he's had 1, maybe 2 years with barely over 1,000 yards. Guys, I'm sorry. OBJ is not the person that we want him to be. Maybe if he goes back to having his hair the way that he did, maybe that makes him better. But, yeah, I'm not really crazy about OBJ. Let's go to the super chat coming in here from Jose Diaz. I thought this was the Raiders report for a minute. I'm here to give you some Raiders props. If it was the Raiders report, it would probably say Raiders report, and I'd probably be wearing some Raiders gear, and it would probably be on the Raiders report YouTube channel. All right, let's go to the next one coming in here. It's from Gary the Snail. The Broncos signed Jon Brown. Good or bad move? I think it's a good move for them. They've had some injuries like KJ Hamler, for example, on the offensive side of the football. The offense has also been struggling a little bit. But I think the best reason, which maybe some people aren't saying, now again, he's actually only on the practice squad. The Broncos play the Raiders this week. So even if you just bring him in, say, hey, man, what do you know about the Raiders? He goes ahead, he spills the beans. Jon Brown doesn't play. Then you got to go ahead and cut him the next week. I think it's a very good move by Denver. And I don't like saying that, obviously, because, I'm going to be rooting for the silver and black. Now, I want you guys to help me out with something. Help us get to 265,000 subs. Now, maybe by the time you're watching this on a later date, we already hit that. But for the live audience right now, hit that big red button that says subscribe. My man Trace is going to be stuffing, that sounds weird, stuffing the comment section right now with the subscribe link. If you can't find the sub button, click on that sub link, and then that way you never miss any videos from us here at Chat Sports. Let's go to Chill Will. Is Kansas City versus Washington football a must-win for the Chiefs, or can they still make the playoffs? I'm going to say yes, it is a must-win because you got to get to 3-3. But also, if they go to 2-4, they're going to have a lot of questions to be able to have answered. Spear Tier 4757, Jameis sticking in NOLA for next couple of years. I don't think so. I really believe that Sean Payton's going to go back and he's going to be like, man, we have a really good defense right now. And I really think New Orleans has a top 5 defense. That's how legit they are. And I get it. You don't have Michael Thomas, but they still have Alvin Kamara. You have a pretty okay offensive line. Some other good positions there when Thomas is there at the wide receiver position. But you can't rely on Jameis. I'm sorry. He's just way too inconsistent. Go get yourself a more reliable quarterback. Let's go to Jacob. What am I, man? Should Davis and Mayock try for Eric Bienemy? So if you guys haven't seen yet, I actually did a Jon Gruden replacements video on my Raiders Report channel. Eric Bienemy is on there. If you want to go see who I think is going to be the next Raiders head coach in 2022, please go ahead and check it out. Let's go to I'm the Man, very humble. I get Denver trying to figure things out, but I really think Okung or Schwartz need a call. Use Schwartz like the movie Spaceballs. Here's the thing, though. Okung's going to play left tackle. Schwartz would play right tackle. Okung's got a lot of injury issues, and usually when you got two big-name players like Russel Okung and Mitchell Schwartz, who at one time were probably some of the better tackles in the league, when they're still free agents entering Week 6, it's probably because they're not fully healthy or there's some other things going on. However, I'd probably put the bigger issue on Schwartz because I think he's a better right tackle than Okung is a left tackle. Let's go to this one. It's from OK Boomer. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out. Should they, so Kansas City, sign Todd Gurley? I understand that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out, and I don't really think he's going to miss too much time. Maybe like 4 or 5 weeks is my initial guess. The issue is this. Todd Gurley, y'all, big name. He's washed up. Another perfect example of when you have a running back with the name of Todd Gurley, if he's not on a team, it's because people are afraid. He's only 26 years old, and it's kind of crazy how far he has fallen from just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, probably the best running back in the league. And now he can't even get himself on a roster, but I mean, his knees are really, really bad right now. Sure, he's had some good touchdown numbers. I believe 9 touchdowns last season, but just watch the film. He just doesn't have that burst anymore. Just simply doesn't have it. So I'm kind of curious, and when we do shows like this, I always like to see, what our audience thinks here and there, and we always ask, like, hey, what's your favorite city? What city are you watching in, or, like, what state are you in? What about this? What's the best burger joint in the United States? So I know this probably doesn't matter to anybody. So I used to live in Germany, and I used to work at Yelp, and my thing that I used to do at Yelp was I tried to find the best burger joint in Cologne, Germany. So I got a hard-on for burgers. I don't know if I can say it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. It's by far my favorite food, so I'm going to be doing some traveling in the off-season. Let me know what's the best burger joint in the U.S. I'm going to be down in the comments looking, so come on, give me some good suggestions. Let's go to Gilbert. Bamberger. I mean, that's literally the perfect setup. Do you think Carr is done after this year? I think that the new Raiders head coach is going to bring in a quarterback. I don't know who that's going to be. I'm not saying he is going to start. If I was the Raiders, I would let Derek Carr stay on the team for one more year in 2022 because he's only going to be making like $19 million. Can you say what you want about Carr? It's phenomenal value for a quarterback of his stature. And then let the new guy learn underneath DC instead of just throwing him out there into the fire. That's what I personally would do. However, it's really not up to me. But we will ultimately see. The other issue is this. There's not really any quarterbacks in this year's draft that I'm like, man, that's a guy I would draft in round 1. I still think that 3, 4, maybe 5 go. But I don't know. I don't think any of them are better than DC right now. I know that. Let's go to Christopher. I think you mean DeMeco Ryan, Niners head coach. Trade Kyle to Las Vegas. So, I will say, I understand, I believe that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch together have a 31-39 record, but they've also been to a Super Bowl. And I know, a lot of people don't want to hear excuses, but tell me a team that's maybe dealt with more injuries than the 49ers have, maybe the last 2-3 years. I can't really name a team off the top of my head, maybe the Chargers. But I'm not going to trade Kyle Shanahan to anybody because I actually think that he's a good head coach, and I think he should end up staying with the 49ers. And if he wanted to come to Las Vegas, guess what? I would take him. He'd be a guy that I think would do a phenomenal job with the Raiders. Now, if I didn't get to your question, blame Sam. He's the reason why I wasn't up on screen. If you want to ask me anything, football, personal, fantasy, anything, guys, hit me up on Instagram. The DMs are open. I'm at MitchellRance365. This next question's coming in here from Otis Hertz. Any Dolphins players you think could be traded before the deadline? Interesting. I would personally say the 3 players that I would put the most money on to be traded before the deadline are cornerback Noah Igbenogany, who was a first-round pick, I believe 30th overall out of Auburn last year. Austin Jackson, another first-round pick, but he's just been really bad at playing tackle. And then I'm going to go ahead and say Mike Gesicki. I like Gesicki a lot. Really good tight end, but he's entering the final year of his contract, and I could see a team out there making a playoff push say, hey, I want to go out and get this guy. Let's go to Steve Muntz. Do you think the Chargers had hit home runs the last 2 first-rounders in Herbert and Slater? Yes. Not only is Justin Herbert, not only did he win Rookie of the Year last year, you could make the argument that he's the NFL MVP right now, and he looks like a top 5 quarterback. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He has totally surpassed all of my personal expectations. And then Slater, Rashawn Slater, it looks like the best rookie offensive lineman in the league right now. And for those of you that don't know how much saying that, I love Penei Sewell. Slater looks better than Penei Sewell. I mean, he just does. Let's go to Spiritur 4757. Which college coach goes to the NFL next? Appreciate the super chat. I'm going to go ahead and say Matt Campbell. The NFL seems infatuated with Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. They like his... I really think also he was probably the top guy that had the most interviews this past season as well. If Iowa State continues to do their thing, I know he was Big 12 Coach of the Year in 2020 and 2017. My money's going to be on Matt Campbell.